Imagine you found a coin that lands heads 60% of the time. You can bet any amount you want. How much should you wager on each flip? Bet too little, and you leave money on the table. Bet too much, and one bad streak wipes you out. There's a mathematically optimal answer, and it's called the Kelly Criterion. In 1956, John Kelly, a physicist at Bell Labs, solved this problem. He wasn't thinking about gambling. He was working on information theory and noisy telephone signals. But the math translated perfectly to betting. His formula tells you the exact fraction of your bankroll to wager to maximize long-term growth. Here's the Kelly formula. F star equals P minus Q over B, where P is the probability of winning, Q is the probability of losing, and B is the net odds, how much you win per dollar risked. For our biased coin, P is 0, 6, Q is 0, 4, and B is 1, since we win $1 for every dollar bet. So Kelly says, bet 20% of your bankroll each time. But why 20%? Why not 60% since we win 60% of the time? Let's simulate 500 coin flips with different bet sizes and see what happens. Betting 5% is safe but slow. You barely grow. Betting 20%, the Kelly amount, your wealth grows exponentially. But watch what happens at 50%. At 50%, overbetting destroys you. Even with a winning edge, a few losses in a row devastate your bankroll. This is the core insight. More risk doesn't always mean more reward. Let's see why Kelly is optimal. The key is maximizing the expected logarithm of wealth, not the expected value. Kelly maximizes the geometric growth rate, the one that actually compounds over time. Here's the growth rate as a function of bet size. It rises, peaks exactly at the Kelly fraction, then falls and eventually goes negative. Betting more than Kelly actually shrinks your wealth over time. The Kelly Criterion has powerful properties. First, it maximizes the long-run growth rate of your capital. No other strategy grows faster over many repeated bets. Second, it never risks ruin. Since you always bet a fraction, you never go to zero. Third, the probability of reaching any wealth target is maximized under Kelly. But Kelly has a problem: volatility. Full Kelly is a wild ride. Your portfolio can drop 50% before recovering. That's why practitioners use fractional Kelly, typically half Kelly. Half Kelly sacrifices about 25% of the growth rate but cuts the volatility nearly in half. Most hedge funds and professional gamblers use somewhere between half and three-quarter Kelly. For stock market investing, we extend Kelly to handle continuous returns and multiple assets. The formula becomes: invest the Sharpe ratio squared divided by the excess return times your conviction. Ed Thorp, the mathematician who beat the casinos and then Wall Street, used Kelly to manage his hedge fund. Warren Buffett's concentrated bets also follow Kelly principles. Big bets when the edge is big. Here are the common mistakes. Never bet more than Kelly. Overbetting is worse than underbetting. Never overestimate your edge. If your true edge is smaller, full Kelly becomes overbetting. And never ignore estimation error. In the real world, you never know your exact edge. That uncertainty alone justifies using fractional Kelly. So what should you take away? First, always size your positions based on edge, not emotion. Second, overbetting is mathematically proven to be worse than underbetting. Third, use fractional Kelly in practice. The world is uncertain. The Kelly Criterion is one of the most elegant results in probability theory. It turns the question of how much to risk into pure mathematics. The optimal bet size isn't about being bold or cautious. It's about being precisely calibrated to your edge. That's thinking like a mathematician.